my name is Ella, and today I wanted to share with you all my top 9 most influential video games. And I'm currently on spring break right now, so I thought what would be a better time to reminisce and also focus on video games than right now. So I was inspired by Kick the PJ's video. He made a video on the top 9 most influential games, and I thought it was so fun and so nostalgic, and it made me think about where my video game history started, because I used to not really be that interested in video games. My brothers would all play a bunch of video games and I'd watch, and I'd play the occasional Mario Kart and stuff like that, but I didn't think I was too much of into games. However, looking back at my past, I can trace when I really picked it up, and then also now when I'm really into them. And of course, they're not my main hobby, sadly, but they are something that I love to play and love to do, so I thought it would just be fun to share. So for this presentation, I have a little graph, and I may have to have images on the side since it's kind of small over here. But the first game that came to mind when I thought, what influenced me to play video games, is the Sesame Street Art Workshop game. Now, this game, I can fact check real quick. According to the Muppet Wiki, this game was released in 1995, and it is a computer game. So I'm pretty sure I played this on a Windows computer from probably 15 years ago at this point. I'm 20 right now, so I don't know when I started playing this, so I'm guessing I was really little, because I only have very vague memories of it, but they are amazing memories. So this game is of course based off of the characters of Sesame Street, which is a well-beloved show, as I'm sure you all know, something that I watched growing up for sure. There are many characters through the games. I don't know which character was my favorite per se, but I do know what minigame was my favorite. So this game consisted of all minigames, including painting, coloring book, stickers, costumes, and craft projects, and my favorite was the costumes. I remember sitting there, it felt like hours, maybe it was 20 minutes, just adding these little costumes to my characters and creating stories for them. So it looked like this. You had your characters that you could pick, and then you could pick through the costumes and dress them up. And when I tell you this was so fun, it was so fun. Now for my second most influential game, I have to go with the Barbie Sleeping Beauty Princess game. Now, this game brings me back. Okay, was this the start of me playing flute?
Rose's friends are sleeping late. To help Rose wake them, click on each animal and the little birds will show you which notes to play on the flute.
Because that's pure magic right there. But yeah, this one was iconic for sure. Now, moving on to the third game, we have Just Dance 3 on the Wii. I'm pretty sure I played this one specifically the most. So this Just Dance in particular had California Girls, Take On Me. It also had Barbra Streisand, Dynamite, Teenage Dream, just a lot of Katy Perry, and so many more. E.T., another Katy Perry, apparently. And probably my most played of all, This Is Halloween by Danny Elfman. This is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween. There are just many amazing dances on there. I remember playing it with my friends or playing it at home for hours on end and just getting super into it. And I have bought many Just Dances after this, including when my brother got a Switch and I eventually stole it for short periods or long periods of time, and it was very fun going back into it. Now for number 4, this is one of my all-time favorites, and I'm sure you can agree, the Wii Sports Resort game. This was heaven on earth, and it needs to be brought back immediately, and it needs to be real. Can we all live there, please? There's so much stuff to do. One of my favorites was definitely the sword fighting one, where you just go around freaking killing everybody in a fun, safe way. And then also the one where you're just biking through a volcano and you're going around the whole island, and it's just so fun and it's so like wholesome, and this one was especially fun to play with my siblings. It was just a good time all around, and Nintendo needs to bring it back. Then moving on to an absolute classic, we have Minecraft. There's not much to say about it. This game I got very into during middle school, especially with all the online servers like the survivor games. But of course you can never go wrong with this, whether it's like creative or survival, you know, with your friends. I do like playing occasionally, now and then. I mean, it's very popular in general. I think it's the most popular game that's been sold. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what will. Now, this game coming out was truly pivotal in my gaming experiences. As you can see up here, these are like fun, you know, classics. You know, we got the little like when I was a kid and on the computer, and then we have, you know, branching out onto the consoles with the Wii and Minecraft. You know, it still stays. But something that truly influenced me to play more on consoles, such as the PlayStation or the Xbox, is Detroit Become Human. This game, my first impression of it was watching a full playthrough of it, and this was the only time I've ever watched this was the first time I watched a full playthrough of a video game, and it was by Corey Kenshin, and I need to rewatch it because it was amazing. But after watching that playthrough, I thought I need to physically play this. Like, it was so much to just watch it. For me to play it would just be like amazing, and eventually I did get to play it. I played it on the PlayStation 4, which my brother got. Again, I'm leeching off of him as usual. And this game was fantastic. I would think about it night and day, and just seeing the image of it brings back so many memories. It was amazing. I would highly recommend this game to anyone that's like maybe not big on video games, because it is extremely story based and it's really hard to get confused or lost. I think a problem that I have with video games is if you take me in an open-ended world, like, I will have no idea where to go, what to do, how to do it. But with Detroit, it's like pick A or B, and then it leads you on that path. So you still have a lot of choice in decision making, because it is a decision-based game with multiple endings, but you're not really ever sitting there like trying to solve a puzzle and not being able to advance to the next room. Like, it's not that type of game. I would compare it more to like a movie, and it was fantastic. The acting, animation, the emotions, it was just so good. Now I have Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Okay, this game, I put it after Detroit because Jedi was the first game I've ever finished on my own, like a full story game. With Detroit, however, I put it first, even though I played it after Jedi, because I was like introduced to Detroit Become Human before I played Jedi Fallen Order. But Jedi Fallen Order I played on my brother's Xbox when he still had an Xbox, and he helped me through it, and it was amazing. Like, the story from start to end, the characters, the actions, the fighting, it was really, really, really good and a great experience. And that really is what propelled me to play more like longer games, as opposed to, you know, like Wii Sports Resort. Those are like mini games and stuff. And then Minecraft, you can do anything you want, so there's not really like a set story. But with Jedi Fallen Order, I loved how there was like structure in it, but you were still able to like do so much within it. Okay, then moving on, we have a very nostalgic pick, but also a very current pick, which is Animal Crossing New Horizons. So this is kind of an obvious choice because you know how it all boomed back in 2020. Well, I hopped on that train, and this was the first video game I ever bought on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, I had played like Mario Kart and Smash Bros and stuff, but those were my brothers or my friends. But this was the first game I truly owned and made my own on the Nintendo Switch, and I'm still playing it today because I got the Happy Home Paradise DLC stuff, and it's really fun. And it was just a great experience. Like, I love how this one is open-ended, but there is still a lot to do, and there's still some structure, especially with the DLC. Like, I have more things to motivate me now, but this game is amazing. Like, I played it so much, especially in 2020, and it just brings back so much nostalgia, like going fishing or catching bugs. And right now I do really like decorating everything and trying to collect things, and I'm definitely not an advanced gamer, on this. Like, people go crazy. But I am just playing it for fun, and maybe I'll give an island tour someday whenever I finish it. But it is just a classic and was really the start of how I got onto the Nintendo Switch. Now, for my last most influential game on here, I've included Little Nightmares. This is another, I played this on the Switch, so it ran kind of poorly, but another Switch game that I absolutely love. And the reason I heard about this game was because of Corey Kenshin. So I watched him play Detroit Become Human, but I also watched him play, I think only the first run through, or the first game of Little Nightmares, and I was hooked. Like, it was crazy to watch, and it was so emotional too with the storytelling, but it's such a scary game, and so I was really interested in it, and eventually I did get it on the Switch, and it was amazing. I love it so much. Like, it's perfect for me because it has a lot of storytelling, and again, you can't get lost. Like, you're literally just moving in one direction. Of course there are some puzzles, and not gonna lie, for the second game, I had to look up how to solve some of them. Like, I know, I'm like really dumb when it comes to like common sense in video games, but the ending of the second one was kind of hard to figure out. Like, I was very lost. But Little Nightmares is really fun because it was so scary to play. Like, I remember like literally like screaming out loud from playing it. And I know that probably doesn't say much, like, if you compare it to scary games like The Last of Us, which I thankfully have not played. I am not burdened by that pain, but I did watch the show. It was amazing. But I still thought this game was scary, and I loved the second one like just as much, and hopefully there's a third one in the future. I don't know. So those were my top 9 most influential games. Of course there are more games. Like, I just started Stardew Valley a couple months ago. I'm not getting very far on that game. It's a little too like high energy for me. It takes a lot of planning and time, and I'm not really ready to commit that much time to Stardew Valley yet. But yeah, video games are a very fun activity for me. I especially love playing them with my siblings or with my friends, and I'm glad that I've finally like grown as my own and found my taste in video games. And I would say it's definitely very story driven, character driven, not too like puzzle focused, and then also just like either fun or like maybe scary. But I know the only scary game I have is Little Nightmares, but Detroit Become Human and Jedi both get very intense. So I also like intense games, I guess, as well. But yeah, hopefully I'm able to play a lot more this spring break. I'm going to focus on Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley. I have 2 chickens in Stardew Valley that I have not checked on in months. I think they're still chicks, actually, and I'm not really even sure how to make them grow. That's how bad I am at that game. But their names are Clifford and Sardine, so wish them well, and I hope you all have fun gaming.